What was that? Hey, I know I'm going to be good. I know I don't need this in my day to day anymore, and I'm going to be fine. The next day is actually going to be a breath of fresh air, so I can go do what I'm excited about. How did you approach that, and what was that, timeline like for you?
The good question.
That's why I'm in this business, Arnie.
The, well, I exited by creating another company that bought my MSP. So we went out, we raised a ton of money from venture capital, and part of the deal was we bought my old company, and then I was the founder of this new thing, which was bringing AI technology and all of bringing AI and transforming. We were basically creating our own rollup, and so I'm no longer involved with that company. That I hired a CEO and brought him on, and just we yeah. So, anyways, I'm no longer involved with that organization. They're still doing great. I wish them all good, good luck and everything like that. But, this kind of goes back to the difference between entrepreneurs who are usually visionaries and PE firms, VC firms who are in this for the money. They're in this for a transaction and to maximize their own investors' return. So the transition for me was I knew I had stuff to fall back on. I had already created some other companies that
Hmm.
were kind of sitting in the wings, like you had mentioned. That it was a very stressful time, and it was very painful transition, actually, for me personally. From the outside looking in, it looks great. You have a bunch of money, you don't have to work anymore, you sold your company. But as an entrepreneur, it didn't feel that way. It felt like it didn't feel as good as I thought it would feel from that
Yeah.
perspective. Now that was, it's a year ago. Everything's great now. I've started a number of other companies, and I have a completely different, fresh outlook on life. You don't know what you don't know. When you're in it, you don't know how uh, how good it can look when you're not in it anymore. I talk to my friends who are still, owners of MSPs, and I hope they get out and do something, do something else. Bring that entrepreneurial spirit back to them. As your company grows, you get, 30, 40, 50 people. It's a lot of it's just not the same as it was when it was just you and a couple
Yeah.
guys and just fixing people's computers all the times. There is I'm rambling on, but there is a world, a great world out there. If you've been doing the same thing for 30, 35, 40 years as an MSP owner, there is something that you can get back to of when you were young and starting out a business. And that piece is incredibly powerful. It takes a little time to get there, but it's there for sure. And I'm starting to see it happen now.